I looked down at the simple objects laying in front of me, the only physical remnants of my father's life. A watch with the image of a golfer smiling back at me, the musical score for a dance hit called Goofus, a couple of political buttons, a high school class ring, my father's business card, and the wool scarf I knitted while I sat with him as he was dying. All these represented some aspect of my father's life, but none gave voice to his hopes and dreams, to the times of great joy and of great sadness, to what he truly valued and loved and what he hoped would be his legacy. Nothing that told the story of the 10-year-old boy who stood on street corners selling newspapers to help his family survive the Great Depression. Nothing that expressed the dreams of a lanky young man who loved to dance, but who exchanged the promise of a career in vaudeville for a lifetime with the woman he adored, even though he missed dancing for the rest of his life. These were just some of the stories that my father used to tell us when we were kids, but it wasn't until I was an adult that I came to appreciate these stories, because they provided a snapshot of another time in history and another side of my father that I rarely glimpsed. They revealed the theme of sacrifice that seemed to punctuate his life, and the challenges and dreams that shaped his life, and consequently, my own life. I recorded my father telling some of these stories, but it was when Dad's diagnosis came that I realized how precious little time I had to capture more of his stories. But it was too late. After the diagnosis, Dad's memory seemed clouded and confused, and it was a struggle for him to piece together people and events from his past. I had waited too long. Why, as someone who made a career of interviewing people for many years, had I not taken more time to interview my own father? I had taken for granted that the man who had always been a part of my life would always be around, an assumption that now tugs remorsefully at my heart. After Dad passed, the few stories that I had captured became even more precious to me. I can listen to him now and hear the inflection of his own voice accenting what saddened, excited, or amused him. A part of him will always be with me through these stories, and with my children. My father taught me many things, but this final lesson is perhaps his biggest gift to me. Now I understand the value of preserving your own life stories and the stories of the important people in your life. I understand how it can be difficult to tell your story unless you are asked, and that the way in which you are asked influences the story that is told. And I learned that it's important to tell our stories now, while the stories can flow easily and without distortion. I feel so strongly about the impact of life stories that I'm now helping others uncover and preserve their legacy stories. Because a life story is the most precious gift you can give someone. Together, we'll explore and capture the themes, values, and life-giving experiences that exemplify the best of you and make you unique. We'll use techniques developed specifically for legacy stories that are comfortable for the storyteller and make it easy to articulate the story you want to tell. It makes no difference if the final product is a slideshow, a short movie, an audio CD, or even an illustrated book. Your life story deserves to be told and preserved. So I ask you to consider, whose story would be the biggest gift to you? And which of your stories would be a gift to others?